And here we go, folks. The news over the past 48 hours has been insane. Seriously, I've been in the news business a long time. I don't think I've ever seen it like this.
There are growing fears of a major global trade war tonight after President Trump announced sweeping tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China.
President Trump is not bluffing, and he's officially thrown down the gauntlet and declared economic war on the BRICS nations and Mexico and Canada all in the same day. And the worst part for those countries is that it was all preventable. They thought that Trump was bluffing. He doesn't bluff. And now crap is hitting the fan. So what does all this mean for the US dollar? What does it mean for grocery prices here at home, gas prices, oil prices? And most importantly, how will the BRICS leaders, Putin and China, respond to all of this? We're heading for a direct economic showdown. So we're going to get to all of that today in detail. But first, things are about to get really ugly with China. That's why you're seeing all of this China news happening all at once. Don't be fooled by it, folks. It's all over the news. We just learned late Friday night that a former senior advisor to the Federal Reserve, John Rogers, has been arrested for leaking trade secrets to China. Wait, what? Yeah. A member of our Federal Reserve working with the Chinese? We also know that China has deployed a massive spy network in the United States. Incoming FBI Director Kash Patel talked openly about this late this week.
That our national security is at threat, both internally and externally.
Then the Chinese national who organizes pro-Palestinian rallies at UCLA's campus just suddenly had her visa revoked by the Trump administration, sending her back to China. Then the White House confirmed for all the world to see that, yes, the lab leak that we knew about from the Wuhan lab in China was responsible for the spread of COVID worldwide.
Several years ago, when I was working in this press shop and President Trump would take to this podium to brief the American people on COVID-19, he suggested that COVID very well may have came from a lab in Wuhan, China. And many members in this very room mocked him for that, said he was spewing conspiracy theories. He was not. We now know that to be the confirmable truth. It took many years for it to come out, but the president was right in this instance again.
Oh yeah, Trump got vilified for that, called a racist. And journalist Seymour Hersh just reported that, yes, the CIA even had assets inside the Wuhan lab and watched as lab technicians started getting sick. And then the CIA expunged all of those documents, hiding them from the president. Lots of bad China news. I wonder why. It's all the timing is very weird. Then we learned late Friday night that the highest-ranking Treasury official, David Lebrick, is resigning rather than complying with a request by President Trump to see the audit they did showing where and how they spent $1 trillion. So rather than showing President Trump how they laundered money, he resigned, hiding the dirty details. These scumbags. And we're not done. We also learned this weekend that there's more than meets the eye with all of these plane crashes in the last few days. Yeah, 4 plane crashes in 4 days. Now, senators and government officials now saying on and off the record that the helicopter that crashed into American Airlines flight was done intentionally. Yes, intentionally. And sources telling me that it was likely done remotely and on purpose. A nation state or someone inside our government is testing President Trump. For years, these world leaders have gotten used to weak leadership in Washington, and right now they're testing Trump's resolve. Trump's mantra has always been promises made, promises kept. And guess what? He's keeping one of his biggest promises yet. He's taking a firm stand against the BRICS nations to protect the US dollar. This is a move he's been signaling for a while now, and it's finally here. Yesterday, February 1st, Trump imposed massive tariffs on Mexico and Canada and one of the leading BRICS nations, China. And he took it a step further, warning the other BRICS nations if they attempt to undermine the dollar, they'd be looking at a 100% tariff.
The tariffs are going to make us very rich and very strong.
Sure, we might get rich off of this, but Trump didn't pull any punches, admitting that, yeah, grocery prices may go up in the short term.
There could be some temporary short-term disruption, and people will understand that.
And then he went right after the BRICS nations, posted this on Truth Social, and I want to read it to you verbatim. The idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by and watch is over. We are going to require a commitment from these seemingly hostile countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty US dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs and should expect to say goodbye to selling in the wonderful US economy. They can go find another sucker nation. There is no chance that BRICS will replace the US dollar in international trade or anywhere else, and any country that tries should say hello to tariffs and say goodbye to America. Boom.
And boom goes the dynamite.
This isn't a minor slap on the wrist. This is a full-blown economic confrontation. Trump is not bluffing. He's made it clear. Promises made, promises kept. And then just like that, Putin responded. Yes, the Kremlin responded, saying BRICS is not looking to create a US dollar replacement currency. Wait, what? Are you kidding me? Seriously? For the last 2 years, BRICS has been working on a common currency backed by gold. They told us repeatedly during the Biden administration that while Biden was president, they were tired of being bullied by Washington, D.C. to settle transactions in US dollars. They were going to unleash their own gold-backed currency. So are they lying to save face versus Trump right now? Or do they seriously just scrap the plan because of a threat of 100% tariffs from Trump? I mean, that's some serious balls by Trump if they literally just back down like this. It's actually shocking, really. Now, remember when the US dollar became the reserve currency of the world after World War II, countries in return got safety and security by our US military. Our US Navy would protect their trade in the open oceans. Now we can't do that anymore. Houthi rebels on rubber boats, for crying out loud, can stop trade in the Red Sea. This ship has sailed. Now what we offer these countries is trade in the United States. See how this works? Trump, by lowering corporate taxes to 15%, like he says he's going to do, will create America as the greatest place to do business in the world by a landslide. And the BRICS nations don't want to have 100% tariffs put on them in order to prevent them from doing business there. That's actually much better than Navy ships protecting you in the Red Sea. You want to come here? Sorry, you better clean your act up. We're already seeing these tariffs this weekend. In China, it was totally preventable. All Trump wanted was for you, China, to stop fentanyl pouring across our border that comes from China. Plain and simple.
A lot of fentanyl comes through Canada, and China makes the fentanyl. You know, China makes the fentanyl, gives it to Mexico, puts it through Canada, puts it through different places, mostly Mexico, but also a lot through Canada. And so all three haven't treated us very well.
But they didn't do it. Totally preventable. Now they've got tariffs. On this news, gold prices just hit another all-time high. Investors flocking to safe havens amid this uncertainty. It's a clear sign that people are worried about what comes next. Just look at Canada. Justin Trudeau let this happen. He wants a trade war. 25% tariffs on Canada. Why? So he can save face and not run against Pierre Poilievre. He can run against Trump. That's really what he wants.
We're ready with a response. A purposeful, forceful, but reasonable, immediate response.
Trump asked Trudeau to stop taking advantage of the United States, secure the border so that illegal aliens stop pouring over from Canada into the United States. He didn't do it. Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary blasted Trudeau, calling him a king idiot.
Probably what happens, the real negotiations are going to wait until the federal election in Canada, which could be as much as 80 days away. It really depends when the idiot king needs to leave. He hasn't decided when he wants to do it yet, but hopefully that's soon.
Now Canada will suffer because Trudeau made a huge mistake. The same in Mexico. Cartels pouring fentanyl and sex trafficking into the United States. Mexico, close your border, get your cartels out of our country. Nope, they won't do it. So Trump slammed them hard. And Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said he's not ruling out military strikes on the drug cartels in Mexico. So are we looking at a full-blown war with Mexico? Sure looks like it. We haven't seen this amount of crazy news in a long time. These countries thinking Trump is bluffing better think again. So that's the crazy news update. I know it's a lot to digest, but we're not done. Now I want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is tied directly to Trump's executive orders this week, opening up Alaska to drilling so that America can become the drilling capital of the world. Or, as the White House put it on their website, unleashing Alaska's extraordinary resource potential. I mean, that's it. We are so back. It feels that way, right? It reads, by the authority vested in me as president, by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. The state of Alaska holds an abundant and largely untapped supply of natural resources, including, among other things, energy, mineral, timber, and seafood. So President Trump indicated he wants to develop these resources to the fullest extent possible. He wrote, quote, "Unleashing this opportunity, however, requires an immediate end to the assault on Alaska's sovereignty and its ability to responsibly develop these resources for the benefit of the nation. Sorry, Democrats, your lockdown on Alaska is over." So the executive order directs U.S. policy to fully avail itself of Alaska's vast land and resources for the benefit of the nation. While specific policies and initiatives on mining haven't been announced yet, this is a very positive indication of the federal policy-making mindset at the presidential level. So today I want to share a specific company with you that owns a significant estimated mineral resource of gold and copper in Alaska with no debt and approximately $4.4 million sitting in cash and cash equivalents as of September 30th, 2024, and a project in the great state of Alaska. That's the sponsor of today's video, called U.S. Gold Mining. Trading on the NASDAQ. You can look them up on the NASDAQ. Here's their ticker on your screen. Here's their ticker, USGO. Now, just listen to this. At its April 2023 IPO, gold was worth $1,930 an ounce. Now it's trading at an all-time high. Just hit new all-time highs this past week. Over $2,700 an ounce. And their flagship Whistler Gold Copper Silver project includes 3 gold deposits with combined estimated mineral resources of 6.5 million ounces gold equivalent in the indicated category, plus an additional 4.2 million gold equivalent ounces in the inferred category. I mean, you guys should go and review U.S. Gold Mining's latest annual report and other filings. They're all available under its profile on the SEC's website at sec.gov. Go check it out for yourself. So the most critical development, and in my personal opinion, and potential value driver, comes from the Trump administration's attitude towards Alaska. In the iconic photo on your screen right here, Trump, still wounded by the attempted assassination, is shaking hands with Mike Dunleavy, the governor of the great state of Alaska. I tell you this because Mr. Dunleavy is also in this next photo. Look at him. In this one, Governor Dunleavy is visiting the company's Whistler project in Alaska with the CEO of U.S. Gold Mining, Tim Smith. See how this all comes together? So Tim Smith came to U.S. Gold Mining from Newmont Gold, a 100-year-old gold producer, one of the largest gold mining companies in the world. If you guys know and understand gold mining, you know about Newmont. Now, before Newmont, he worked for Goldcorp, which at the time was one of Canada's biggest gold producers, and then they merged. But I want to talk about the company he worked at before joining Goldcorp, because what he accomplished there is precisely what the board of U.S. Gold Mining wants him to deliver for its stockholders. He worked for Kaminak Gold Corporation. Now, Kaminak discovered the coffee deposit in the Yukon and advanced the resource until Goldcorp acquired it for $520 million Canadian, one of the most significant buyouts of the past decade in Canada. Now, U.S. Gold Mining owns a project that has combined estimated mineral resources of 6.5 million ounces of gold resource equivalent in the indicated category and an additional 4.2 million ounces gold equivalent in the inferred category. Its CEO was part of the team that sold that coffee deposit, which was owned by Kaminak, to Goldcorp. I know it's a lot of back and forth, but I just want you to understand how important this is and how big this is. They sold it for $520 million Canadian back in 2016. And while we're talking about different projects where outcomes could be different, this is the reason that he was recruited to become the CEO of USGO right now, so that he can utilize his skill set that he's used prior and work towards similar goals for U.S. gold mining. Now, Bank of America is predicting gold bullion will hit $3,000 per ounce. So guys, this alert today concerns a gold stock, USGO, trading approximately 40% below its all-time high as of February 1st, 2025. So guys, do your own due diligence on this company. I'll have links below in the description to the company's website so you can go and do your own homework on all of this. And we'll see you next time, everyone.